Hello everyone, and welcome to our update on the 8th of October 2023. So starting off with our UKV 5-day forecast, we can see that today was quite cloudy over Ireland, especially in the south, with some hazy sunshine in the Midlands and north. However, for Scotland, we can see that there was some heavy rain, actually some torrential rain, and a few storms in Scotland today, frontal storms, and for the past 48 hours, it has been, in some areas, constantly pouring with rain, especially Friday night, Saturday morning, and throughout today. Constant rain in Scotland, amber warnings in force, flooding, just exceptionally wet weekend for Scotland this time. But it's now easing there, with the heaviest rain pushing towards the North Sea, and it'll be drying out there this evening with drizzle in the west. But for Ireland, tonight is a cloudy night, misty as well, especially in the south and near coasts. Into tomorrow, we might see some mist breaking up, so some sunshine briefly in the south before some high clouds comes in from the west. So some hazy sunshine through the day, some coastal fog as well. Also a very warm day, as we'll see with the temperatures. Into Monday night, we see some light rain in the north, and some patchy rain there as well. And it actually turns heavy with Scotland. And for Scotland, there is a warning in force for Tuesday due to this extra rainfall falling onto the already very much waterlogged and saturated grounds. So if you're in Scotland, do watch out because there is more rain coming. Although it's not likely to be as heavy as the rain that came over the weekends. Anyway, on Tuesday for Ireland, we see some rain drizzle in the west, but that is mainly it before some rain does come in to the north into the evening. This is light and patchy mostly, but with some heavier bursts. This comes southwards, and an area of very intense rain forms just off the south coast, and it brushes the south. There is uncertainty about the timing and track of this area of rain, so do stay tuned for updates. But if this is for the northwards, then the south of Ireland can expect torrential rain Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. This rain looks very intense, has to be said, and possibly thundery as well. But on this run, it's mainly offshore, and it moves into the UK on Wednesday morning, leaving Ireland dry with the best of the sunshine in the north and the cloudiest skies in the south. And by the way, on Wednesday is much cooler and fresher, especially in the north. Into Thursday, we see some high cloud in the south with some decent sunshine elsewhere. That high cloud moves northwards on Thursday, and some rain pushes close to the south by Friday morning. Again, this rain has a lot of uncertainty with it. Some models have it engulfing the country on Friday, others have it completely offshore. Uncertainty on Friday as well as Wednesday. So do watch out for both Wednesday and Friday, and stay here for more updates, please. Anyway, this is the temperature forecast. So we'll see that it's also very warm today, with highest temperatures widely around 20 degrees, cooler on the south coast and the north due to more cloud and mist. Into Monday morning, lowest temperatures are very mild, 12 to 15 degrees, very mild, especially for October. Now, into Monday afternoon, a bit warmer than Sunday, due to, I think, more sunshine. So values between about 18 in the northwest, up to 22 degrees in the south. Again, cooler near the coast, where some fog may linger. Into Monday night, lowest temperatures, again, a balmy 12 in the south to 17 degrees in the north, like right there. Exceptional. Into Tuesday, highest temperatures of 16 to 20 degrees, west to east. Into Wednesday, lowest temperatures, okay, cooling off here, as that cold front comes through. Again, details of the rain uncertain. 7 to 14 degrees into Wednesday afternoon. I was going to say a very cool night Wednesday, but first, look at that, a very chilly day on Wednesday. 10 to 13, much cooler, a big shock to the system. I mean, this is average, okay, or a bit below, but considering the fact that we've had this exceptional heat wave, you know, this would be a big cool down, a big shock. But anyway, into Wednesday night, we get colds. Look at that. Freezing, possibly, in the North Midlands, up to about 9 degrees in the south, where cloud lingers. That'd be a frost, I'd say. And into Thursday, 10 degrees in the north to about 14 in the south. Thursday night, sees cloud moving in, 9 to 13. For Friday, sees a cooler day again, about 9 to 13. Wait a minute, it doesn't really change from low to high. But in the north, south is about the same. Again, details of the rain is uncertain on Friday as well. The NAO observed and GFS forecasts, looking at this, so very stable with the negative NAO at around -1. It's about here, around again -1. It will be dropping further towards mid-month. That is courtesy of some increased blocking towards Greenland and Iceland. Before it really takes off towards neutral levels towards the 20th, I'd say. And that may indicate a more westerly flow coming in after that blocking signal. And warmer as well with that. Okay, this is the GFS 12Z. I already have it on the hover, so why do that? Okay, so you can see that into Monday, we see the high to the south, low to the west, also blocking around Greenland, Iceland. So in general, the high is dominating, drawing up that exceptionally warm wind from the south. Into Tuesday, we see the high just gradually weakening off, and the low, and the two lows, one to the southwest and one to the north, advancing slowly. Now a cold front forms in this region here, where the lower pressure is between the two highs. This area is where that cold front is lying, and that gradually moves through on Wednesday. It weakens to our south before a ridge forms to our west and moves in. This is a cooler ridge, so that brings a frosty night Wednesday night probably in the north. After that, that ridge forms and settles to our east and southeast. That low to the north stays there, and the blocking as well is quite complex. And then a low forms to our west. And it's this low that may bring some torrential rain on Friday. This GFS has it over us, so that'd be a deluge. And that clears away to the east to allow a northerly flow. Briefly, then a ridge forms to our west and south, cutting it off. Quite a cool ridge, that one. And then after that, we try to go northerly again into next week, Monday. And then the high sort of noses in from the north. That is a cold ridge, again, frosty night as possible. And then after that, we go quite straightforwardly, thankfully, milder and wetter after a very complex week or two. I mean, just constantly chopping and changing with the pressure. It just constantly changes. But we finally do break into a more straightforward zonal spell of rain winds, and we're basically westerly with the high to the south and over to the north. A very complex week or two to come. Really choppy and changeable. A lot of explaining to do. The ECM, let's see how this varies. Okay, so we've got the high to the east, mainly dominating right now and tomorrow. That drags the wind in from the south, a very warm direction. That low deepens over Iceland, and that low, as well as that one over the Azores, comes in. Again, that cold front is marked between the two ridges. It sits over us on Wednesday. It brings quite a wet day to the south. See, it's right over the south. That little trough is right over the south. That's the cold front. Then it sort of dies off to our south. That low to the north wants to bring a northerly, but a ridge forms in. But that ridge sort of noses in from the west, bringing a frosty night on Wednesday night. After that, the low to the north tries to bring a northerly, but then the low to the south comes in and forms to our south, and it cuts it off temporarily, brings rain to the south on Friday, and in the end, so that would be limited to the south. The GFS has the rain countrywide on Friday. Then after that, a northerly wind comes in. The blocking stays of Greenland before coming in towards us on Monday next week. This is a cold ridge, so that would be frosty nights and crisp autumn days. And it stays there into next week quite nicely. This is the UK Met run. Okay, so we've got the ridge to our south, continuing that very warm and dry spell tomorrow and Tuesday as well. Before that cold front sort of comes in on Tuesday night, that little area of lower pressure does come through before a ridge comes in back from the west. It noses in, bring a dry and cold night on Wednesday night. Thursday's a dry and cool day. That low to the north tries to bring a northerly flow, but then a low forms just to our south and tries to bring rain. But on this run, that trough is here and not as intense. So that brings the deluge into the UK, England, Wales, while we stay fully dry. So again, very complex sort of week coming up here. Before we go into a northerly on Saturday, and this cool ridge comes in over the weekends. Okay, so this run has it just offshore on Friday, completely offshore with the rain. This is the GEM. Okay, so we can see the GEM, warm and dry tomorrow. The pressure weakens on Tuesday, again bringing that rain in from the north. Tuesday night, that little trough coming through here, that's the cold front. Could be some lively rain on that. It depends on where the heaviest bursts form and track. That is uncertain. But this run has them through here, so definitely very wet for the south. Into Wednesday night, we see that little high come in from the west, cutting off the northerly that tries to come in here. So that goes drier and colder. That low wants to bring a northerly, but this low elongates itself and intensifies to our south. So this brings rain to the south mostly, if at all, and a northerly flow comes in after that before we go high and dry into the weekend, Monday. After that, we go very mild again. The Icon run. Let's see how this compares. Okay, so warm and dry for tomorrow, that high dominating. Weekends on Tuesday, that shallow area of low, that little trough comes through on Wednesday. That's the cold fronts. After that, that cool and dry ridge, followed by that low elongating from the south, and that briefly does cut off that northerly flow, brings a wet day to much of the country on Friday, actually, on this Icon run. And after that, we go cool and showery, and we look quite strange there by Monday with that transient ridge. Quite a complex week coming up, actually. Really a lot of details to pay attention to. And finally, the arpege run, very much similar. Tomorrow, Monday, high and dry, very warm as well. Tuesday, and Wednesday, see that cold front coming through. Thursday, dry with that cold ridge. And then after that, Friday, I say the rain is mostly to our south on Friday morning. So we're done for now. Quite complex. Stay tuned for updates. I'll see you tomorrow.